I got it. Scared him off, you pansy!
Shut Rick! You monster! Get away from him, Rick! 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 You monster! Get away from him, Rick! Rick!
Okay, great. So this is Fred FinalRune, and we have been finished recording in April, and of course at that point what you have is a bunch of really great performances of people doing really cool stuff like kicking around trash cans, knocking over propane canisters, smashing bottles, getting chased off places by the cops.
All right, let's get the hell out of here. We can do this on my driveway if we have to.
Things like that, but it's not a story yet.
This is a fantasy, sort of an allegory about you know, the troll sort of representing the things that could be lost if man, who really could do, you know, the only species on the planet that really could do some sort of damage to the planet if they wanted to. Like, you know, there's a duty there at that point to make sure that doesn't happen.
I do enjoy this script. This is the second draft. The first was a little harder in terms of the language and everything, and he was making it more gritty, more realistic. And they tamed it somewhat so that, you know, appealed to a much broader audience. And obviously, it's a moral fable that deals with basically the steady encroachment of humankind on wildlife, and seems to be an irreversible trend, and which Fred obviously laments, as should we all, and is trying to write something about it, make people more cognizant of it.
Fred comes up with some he's an old soul, and he writes really well, and he's got a very unique way of telling a story. The script, I mean, I haven't seen the whole thing. I've only seen our parts. But if Waiting for a Window is an indication of his style, then I'm sure it's going to be an exceptional script.
Why not take it to the next level? I thought, well, what if there really was this troll that was living out there in the woods, and, you know, here in Alfred, Maine, and it's you know, here is relatively remote, but we're not that far from Best Buy and Walmart's, and all the big box stores are encroaching even out this far. And what would happen if there really was a troll living out here who'd been pushed? He'd kept running, and as humans expanded, kept going deeper and deeper into the woods until there are no woods left, and is you know, just like the umpteen squirrels and porcupines that we whack with our cars all the time. What would happen if there was a creature like that that was forced to, by the destruction of his habitat, to come into conflict with humans?
No! What's wrong?
The brook is dry. They put a dam in upstream.
So what?
So where do we go now? Where? Police, hands on the ground!
Get on the ground now!
Careful, he's got a hostage. You wanna fight humans? You gotta
Drop the gun! Take him down!
This was one of the finest casts I've had the pleasure of working with. They're all spot on. They came into recording day just ready to go. We had very minimal preparation. I don't like to burden people with a ton of rehearsals.
I was worried about, like, the troll, because, you know, what's the voice going to sound like? And then I found out it was Bill DeFree, so I was like, there's no qualms there. I mean, that voice is unearthly. I don't know how he does that, so.
You're the troll!
Of course. Okay, listen. We stay low and cling to the woods.
Haha. It's a fun character. It's killing my throat, though. It's just... Because
I have to talk like this.
Basically, I feel that as a director, my job is to cast them right. And if I cast it right, production's a breeze, which it was in this case. There were, a couple hiccups like there always are.
We keep on keeping on. It's always a little bit like herding cats when you've got people who are all, generally most of the people in this set are professionals or have day jobs, so you're trying to find a time where all these people can get together in the same room. I am recording a production today. I've had an actor not show up, and I'm wondering if you would be interested in doing a part and coming out today. Yeah, a little past, let's see, right now it's only 1:15. We're going to be getting at a location and doing a scene and then heading there, so like 1:15 or so would be fine. This is really swinging for the fences on this one. All right, got pizza with nothing. And it's a lot of organization, a lot of setting up, and then the recording is like 15 minutes. The actual machine is running maybe half an hour, but 6 hours of work around it, not to mention all my time setting it up. So, but it's nothing like it. There's nothing like the experience. When you finally hear the product, it's a lot, there's something about a little magical something that's different than just going in the studio and recording it in a controlled and quiet atmosphere, which may drive some engineers crazy, but for me, it's what it's all about.
I've been working with Fred for the last couple years. I think this will be my 5th production I've done with FinalRune. This is something I enjoy doing. It's a nice hobby. Had an interest in audio ever since I was a kid. Was very interested in audio production.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man, it got the light and... Oh, the hood. It's not too bad. I guess I can call AAA. What the hell did I hit? Oh no. Hey, are you... Oh my gosh, you're like a monster, man. You're like taller than Jaws. Hey, man, I can't see anything. Are you okay? Hey, you alive there? Hey, wake up! Oh my God! What the hell was that?
So at this point, it becomes much more like a traditional production where we dump all the audio files into a digital audio workstation, a DAW. In this case, Pro Tools. Mix together, listen to all the tracks, find the best performances, mix them all together into a usable sound file, so you have something that has a beginning, middle, and end all of a sudden. Then you start having fun with it.
Sure, why not? She's a great big troll and covered in hair and hideous. It's going to be great. Yeah, it'll be fun.
But voice is fun because you're just working with voice, and the whole idea of radio theater, where it's all the theater of the imagination. I mean, people, if you're a listener, you're just creating by sound and texture, and even with space and pauses, you're creating this world that people go into and imagine. It's just the theater of the imagination. It's this fantastic place to be. So between sound and silence, and I don't know, it's just a blast.
It's great to be able to participate in something that is creative and that's positive.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I find it really taps into the imagination of the listener far more than watching a video. Literally, we're talking about movies without cameras.
It's sort of fun to try to think about the fact that you've got to create the whole character with your voice, as opposed to like costumes. You've got to put all that sort of stuff into it. The other thing, which I think is a little more noble too, it's sort of an art that I would love to see sort of resurge. I mean, the fact that Fred is doing this and keeping the whole medium alive, as opposed to just being like something that comes on like on a Sunday afternoon for a couple hours, that it could be something that you know is a very viable and wonderful, rich medium to tell story.
I don't know. It's many writers will say that what drives them is the inability to do anything else, and for me, that's very much the case. Is I look at the world and interpret the world and have something to say about the world, and I just can't not say it. And audio drama has become my way of saying, of expressing myself through sound, through experience. And so, where it used to be the written word, and I would just write short stories. And my short stories were always full of special effects and things that I just struggled to put all this embellishment into words. Audio has become that for me. So I listen more intently and process and write and imagine the world sonically.